Okay, let's have a little bit of fun. Donald Trump Jr., DJ TJ, coked out bro, goes on CNBC. And look, CNBC, it's like Fox Business. It's basically catered to the Wall Street types. And they're very, very conservative. Even the ones that call themselves leftists, or I'm not leftists, they call themselves liberals. They are not liberals. They are very conservative people. And it's all about the stock market and about the monies. But these guys actually hold Donald Trump Jr. to a little bit of account and start asking him the tough questions. I found this pretty damn fascinating. Check it out. And while you're watching, just take a look at I know I'm speculating, but I've seen a lot of people on cocaine. I'm just saying, take a look at DJ TJ's eyes.
Into I don't know everything you read, Don Jr. on conflict of interest for the Trump family with your father in the White House. I mean, here's today's headline: Bitcoin goes all in on MAGA. It's no longer libertarian. It's no longer decentralized. It's no longer cool. Suddenly, it's almost got the rubber stamp of the administration, and lead into some of the other things. The meme coin, is that okay for your dad to have?
By the way, I'm sorry to interject here, but the whole idea of cryptocurrency being a decentralized, democratizing type of currency has always been horseshit. It's always been touted by anarcho-capitalist libertarian types, and when you hear this guy talk about it's being decentralized and now all of a sudden it's in the White House, he's got a valid point, because it has never been the case that this was supposed to be some democratized kind of money for the people. Honestly, for the most part, at the beginning, it was just used to buy drugs, or do some kind of illegal activity, washing money from foreign entities, in and out of America and across the world. So it's never really been a, something that the common everyday man is going to use. But let's listen to Donald Trump Jr.'s bullshit ass excuse.
Meme coin.
I think, of course, when he did that before he was in office, he did these things. The reason we got into crypto, and we're all in on crypto, and we're doing American Bitcoin, and we have World Liberty Finance and USD1, was because there was a time, and probably I'd been on this show, where I could call any single banker in New York City. They'd pick up the phone. I'd be able to get a loan for whatever real estate project I was doing across the street. Then we got into politics, and all of a sudden, they wouldn't take your call. Right. You couldn't get financing. We were debanked.
Oh!
And what I realized...
Give me a break, man. Come on. They were debanked. They're such victims. Maybe it's because you were doing criminal activity. It's like Donald Trump talking about, they were always out to get me. They're always witch hunting me. Dude, is it possible? Just maybe that you actually committed some fucking crimes and that's why they were going after you, not because they singled you out, not because you're some kind of victim. And he's sitting there talking about how Bitcoin is for the common man, like he's some kind of goddamn common man. This guy he's probably never even wiped his own ass. He's got somebody to do that for him. So don't give me any of this bullshit common man. Oh, we couldn't get any loans and this is the only way we could get our money. Back in the day, Donald Trump was completely against cryptocurrency. He was talking about how cash was king and all that nonsense. And now they're on top of the meme coin. And let's not forget, this is not the only scam that Donald Trump has got going. Remember the Trump watches, the Trump shoes, the Trump Bibles? He's got the NFTs. He's got a shit meme coin. He's got, whatever the hell the crypto trade thing that the Donald Trump International whatever corporation LLC. But anyway, sorry, I digress. Take a listen.
What I realized, because we were the recipients of every subpoena imaginable, was that, you know what, we were actually just the top of this sort of pyramid scheme that we didn't realize we were a part of, that the financial system was totally undemocratized. Because we had a certain balance sheet and whatever, we could kind of do whatever we wanted. The regular guy was messed up. Now we were all of a sudden in the shoes of the regular guy that wouldn't be able to take advantage of the markets. And we said, what's the solution for that? The answer is crypto.
Just him again, just comparing himself to like the regular guy. He is not a regular guy. Donald Trump is not a regular guy. I mean, for Eric Trump just did a deal in South Vietnam, or maybe it's North Vietnam, in Vietnam, just outside of Saigon, to build a $1.5 billion Trump hotel and golf course resort area. They just did that. Donald Trump is the president. He just went to the Middle East to do a corruption tour where he's securing a $5.5 billion golf course in Qatar. Oh, and by the way, he took the fucking plane. Don't give me this. Oh, it was given to the American government. It was loaned to the American government. Donald Trump is going to get that plane afterwards. It's on loan to the American government until Trump leaves office, and then it's going to be given to the Trump presidential library. Are they going to be flying around fucking books, or is Donald Trump going to be using this for his own personal use? Don't fucking blow smoke up my ass and don't piss down my leg and tell me it's fucking raining. They're doing deals in Saudi Arabia. They're doing deals in Qatar. They're doing deals in Oman. These are not normal people. These are not regular, everyday guys. You know, hey, man, I'm just a regular guy, man. I'm just, I'm fighting back against the man. You know, the man is out to get me. You know, we had to do cryptocurrency out of necessity because we were debanked. Yeah, man, because we were doing shady fucking deals and no bank was going to loan you money because you're a bad bet. Because your businesses, go bankrupt, and banks are not willing to continue to loan money to people who are bad bets, whose businesses keep failing, because banks are just like any other business. They need return on their investment. And the ROI on Donald Trump has always been pretty bad. And lately it's gotten so much worse. So when I hear, Donald Trump fucking coked out Junior over here talking about how he's such a regular guy, and they're such victims because banks wouldn't loan them any money anymore, and we had to get our money through cryptocurrency. It's absolute horseshit. There's more, so it gets better. Listen to this.
These decentralized platforms where you're not beholden to this, where you create efficiencies. As a guy that did real estate, why am I paying points in and out for title insurance that could be done on the blockchain? So we got into crypto not because it was like, hey, this is the next cool thing. We got into it out of necessity. We got into it because we understood just how quickly we could be turned off, even as an incredible developer from New York City. I mean, I don't think anyone would argue that we didn't change the skyline of New York City.
I would absolutely argue. Donald Trump doesn't build anything. Donald Trump slaps his name on a building. He markets out his own name. And on the buildings that he has built, he has done it through bankruptcy. He gets a whole bunch of contractors to come in and build his building. And then right before it gets to be almost complete, Donald Trump declares bankruptcy. He ties up every one of those contractors in litigation for 2, 3, 4, 5 years until they can't take it anymore. And then Donald Trump offers them 20 cents on the dollar. He is always been a con man. He's always been a con artist. His dad, as corrupt as he was, he actually did do some building. Fred Trump was, corrupt as the day is long. But at the same time, he actually did. Oh, by the way, Donald Trump and Fred Trump, they're all mafia'd up. They all have mafia ties. How do you think there has never been a building's foundation, concrete poured back in the 60s and 70s without mob money? Those guys were always pouring concrete. And, of course, for the mob guys that they didn't like, they pour a little small portion of concrete to put their feet in it and drop them off into the East River. So, it's always been about concrete with the mafia. They were always been tied in with that. But Donald Trump, and Fred Trump and all those guys, they were tied up with the mob. They were very mafioso kind of guys. And Fred Trump actually did have some buildings built. Donald Trump, the only building I think that he had built was used illegal immigrants, some Polish immigrants, undocumented immigrants, and then he screwed them over too. And Donald Trump loves an immigrant because he's going to get work out of them, and then he'll threaten to call INS when they actually want to get paid for it. It's always the same MO. He has a building built, and then he finds a way to not pay for the labor that was done for it. That is how Donald Trump has made his money over the years. And that is how DJ TJ is trying to do it with cryptocurrency. These guys are scumbags, man. They're absolute scumbags.
That disappeared in an instant. I mean, we're getting sued by the New York State AG, $500 million fees for paying back loans on time with interest. These aren't, fair markets. There's nothing egalitarian about any of that. So we actually, as innovators, as people who understand these things, we went all in on a concept that makes total sense because we'd actually been the recipient of how quickly that can be shut off. And so it actually makes total sense. The Trump organization isn't doing anything with foreign countries. The first time around in the administration, we actually...
They're not doing anything with foreign countries. We just talked about it. He just went to Saudi Arabia. He just did a fucking deal for a golf course in Oman. He just basically, he did everything but drop down to his knees and cup the balls and stroke MBS's shaft, man. I love the guy. There's nothing I wouldn't do for the guy. I love that guy over there. He's amazing. I love it. I love MBS. He's a wonderful guy. He just did a deal in Oman for like $500 million and another real estate deal. What are you talking about? You don't have any foreign deals. He took the plane.
Doing all foreign deals. And unlike the Bidens, we were actually doing international business before we got into politics.
My question, though.
To bring up Joe Biden and Hunter Biden, and we got into these international deals before we got into politics. Your corruption and your dad's corruption make Joe Biden look like a fucking choir boy. Hunter Biden got like a $500,000, seat on Burisma, the energy company. Yeah, it was probably one of those no-show jobs. Joe Biden, by the way, was not president at the time. He was a private citizen, and they probably hired him on his name recognition. Are you telling me that, are you saying nepotism? Really? Nepotism? What the fuck is this? What is this guy right here? That is nepotism personified. A $500,000 deal, as corrupt as that sounds, and not a deal, it's just a no-show job, seat on a board of an energy company, holds no candle to $2 billion that Jared Kushner got from Saudi Arabia after they left the White House. $2 billion. The Trump family has increased their wealth by about $3 billion in the first couple of months of his presidency through the damn meme coin and the shit coin and and all the trading done on Trump International, with cryptocurrency. They have almost doubled their wealth in a couple of months. Hunter Biden couldn't carry DJ TJ's corrupt jockstrap in a fucking suitcase. It's not even the same league. It's not even the same fucking sport. This corruption right here is fucking corrupt to an art form. I've never seen it so bad. They're wearing it on the outside. And then when you hear somebody like, Mike Johnson's like, the only time it's corrupt is when you do it behind the scenes, all clandestine. Donald Trump is doing all of his corruption out in public, so I guess that makes it legal. Give me a fucking break. It's insanity. It's absolute insanity. I don't know. Let's see if he's got anything else to say. Jesus, like every other word that's coming out of his mouth is a fucking lie.
Let me finish. We stopped doing those things, and the market still said, they're profiteering off of this, they're doing that. We got zero credit. We shut down hundreds of millions of dollars of business to voluntarily just say, just in case. So now what we're going to do, we're going to play by all of the rules. We're going to do what we're allowed to do, but we got zero credit for going so far above and beyond because, that's the nature of this beast, right? It's a mark.
He is saying that they got zero credit for being uncorrupt and clean during Donald Trump's first term. Every golf trip he went on was at a Trump golf course. Everybody that had to go to that golf course got charged to stay there, including Secret Service, all of the staff. They had to pay to stay there. Now, of course, they're not paying to stay there. Tax dollars are being used to stay there. When foreign government leaders would come in to meet with Donald Trump, they stayed across the street at the Trump Hotel. Saudi Arabia would come and rent out the entire top floor for like $300,000 a day. That went directly into this dipshit's coffers. Donald Trump did not put all of his finances into a trust, to do it the right way. Like Jimmy Carter had to sell his goddamn peanut farm. They didn't put it into a trust. Donald Trump just let his two retarded sons take over for him. Eric and Don Jr. over here. That is not a trust. That is not doing it the right way. That is not uncorrupted. I mean, it's not like they don't talk every fucking day. So him sitting there telling you, oh, we try to do it the right way, but then everybody came after us. So now we're just going to do it, out in public, and we're going to be as corrupt as we can be. Don't be using your lack of corruption from your first term to validate your mega corruption now. You weren't that fucking clean to begin with. I will say that Donald Trump has taken his corruption to amazing new heights in this new term. It's absolutely a completely different animal. But at the same time, listening to this guy, and I'm done listening to him, but listening to this guy lie about, oh, well, we were so clean before, but now, since everybody went after us anyway, and they kept going after my dad, my father, my father's the president, my father, the president. You cannot sit there and say to me and to the general public that the reason why you are doing corrupt crypto deals is because you guys kept calling us out on our corruption in the first term. So now we're, the leash is off. We're just going to go fucking ham and just take it to the sky's the limit. The sky's the fucking limit. When Donald Trump gave his little speech at the not State of the Union address back in February, and he left the stage after 2 hours worth of fucking blabbering, and he went right up to John Roberts, the Supreme Court Chief Justice, shook his hand and says, "Thank you for doing what you did for me. I'll never forget it." That thing that he's talking about, that little thing that John Roberts did, was to basically give the president immunity for everything. If the president thinks that it is presidential, then it's presidential and it's not illegal. And we got Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump and the big guy himself going over to the Middle East to make all of these real estate deals while he's the fucking president, bringing in, pardoning every corrupt person that you could possibly think of. Oh, he did some corruption. Hey, it was not that bad. He sounds like something that I would do. I'm going to pardon him. Or, hey, if you come to one of my dinners and you donate a couple of $1 million, I might give you a pardon. The corruption is off the fucking chart. And to hear Donald Trump Jr. go on there and go, we're not doing deals with foreign countries. It's like, are you telling me not to believe my lying eyes? Are you telling us that all of this shit is not happening right in front of us? It's insanity. I don't know how much drugs he's doing, but I would love to get my hands on the cocaine that he's doing because he is flying off his fucking ass and I want to be there, God damn it. Jesus Christ. I can't wait to be done with these people. I just hope that Barron is not, going to be our, 2036 presidential candidate. It sure as shit is not going to be Donald Trump Jr. That guy's got no riz whatsoever. And Eric Trump is a fucking moron, but they do know how to do the corruption. Oh, God. Anyway, folks, that's the show for the day. I really appreciate you sticking around and watching. Thank you so much. And if you wouldn't mind liking and subscribing, it really helps out in the algorithm. And I will sing your praises and I'll dance at your wedding. Love you a long time. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will catch you next time. Have a great one. Bye-bye. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, please like and subscribe. Keep rocking.